Good evening, students. I'm Breanna Schmitt.
And I'm Nathan Wallin.
This week on SPTV News, SPTV got to sit down with Shane Bitney Crane. Schmeeckle Reserves' newest project is completed, and Special Olympics has volunteer opportunities.
All of this and more when we return. Students Point continues to protect students from any kind of dangers on or off campus. There are many available resources, such as the Dean of Students, who is always on the lookout for our students' welfare. Now, students can individually protect themselves through an app called PAVE. Through the app, students can access resources at their fingertips for sexual, interpersonal, and discriminatory violence. This app includes local contacts, friend support, a list of Wisconsin laws and survival rights. It also has reporting options so that students can immediately report when their safety has been violated or when they've witnessed an incident. Any questions and concerns can be answered by contacting PAVE.
Last week, Untitled Productions hosted LGBTQ rights advocate Shane Bitney Crane here on campus. SPTV's Marques has more.
This past week was Coming Out Week here at UWSP, and Entertainment and GSA were proud to bring to campus Shane Bitney Crane, an LGBT activist, filmmaker, and public speaker. Shane brought with him a message of hope, love, and equality to students here at UWSP.
I just hope that when I come and I speak at campuses, I hope that a lot of young people realize that they have a lot of power to make a difference, and not just on their campus, but within the community. And so, of course, I wish people could be at every event that I go to, but I know that that's not always possible because in college you guys have like a million things going on.
During our interview, Shane also said that after his film Bridegroom was released, he's seen a significant change in our country, but said we still have a long way to go.
The country's changed a lot. It was kind of like one state after another was legalizing same-sex marriage, and then the Supreme Court ruled in favor of marriage equality nationwide, so that was huge. But as much progress as there's been, it seems like, the whole 3 steps forward, 10 steps back kind of thing, because there's been a significant increase in hate crimes being reported across the country over the past several months. Like, I didn't know that in the United States, gay and bisexual men are still unable to legally donate blood, and I didn't realize, before I became an activist, I didn't know that in many states you can be fired just for being gay. In many states, conversion therapy is still legal, which essentially is usually young people who are forced into a treatment to try to fix them, which often just leads to suicide. So there's still a lot of areas that we need to focus on, and a lot of, especially young people who are still just scared to come out and to be who they are.
And while we have a long way to go, I asked Shane what advice he could give someone that might have a negative perspective towards the LGBT community.
I encourage everyone just to reach out to people who are different than them and just give other people a chance to share their stories, or just share their truth, and just to hear another perspective, because I think so often when we meet someone who's different that we haven't been exposed to, for people that never have met a gay person, that they have these ideas of what they're like, when I found that so often people are surprised that once they just give someone a chance and get to know them, that they realize they're not that different. And so I just really encourage people to have conversations and be open and just listen, and not be ready to just respond and react.
And while this past week was Coming Out Week, Shane touched on the issue that many people are still not ready or comfortable to come out. He wants them to know they are not alone.
I mean, it's interesting because I hear a lot of people say that, to all young people out there who are in the closet, just come out, just do it, your life will get better. And unfortunately, it's not that simple, because I meet so many young people who are in high school or in college who still have the support from their parents, who risk losing that support if they do come out. And I don't think it's necessarily a situation of just any time is the right time. I think that people really have to listen to themselves and see what situation they're in to see if it's safe for them to come out. But, to all the people who are struggling, I hope that they can remember that although it's scary and they risk having people turn on them, including their family, that still there are millions of people out there who do support them and accept them.
I asked Shane if there was just one message people could get from his story, what would it be?
one thing would just be to encourage people to love themselves, because I think that's something that I've really struggled with for most of my life, and just not feeling worthy of love from myself or especially anyone else. But I think another important thing I want people to take away is just that life is so fragile and unpredictable, and it's cheesy and cliche to say like tomorrow's never promised, but like it's not. And I hope people realize that if they haven't lost someone unexpectedly, to really just focus on the people in your life that are important to you and let them know that you love them, because you might not have that chance.
If you'd like any information or would like to know more about LGBTQ community, visit our Gender and Sexuality Resource Center here on campus.
Calling for all future teachers. Education majors or students who want to teach in the future have an opportunity for their questions to be answered. An English teacher panel will be held here at UWSP. This will be a roundtable discussion with experienced English educators who will answer questions about the different aspects of education. These educators hope to give an insight on teaching the English language and arts and more. This event is free to the public and snacks will be served. The panel will be held on Thursday, November 2nd from 5 to 6:30 p.m. in room 230 of the College of Professional Studies.
UWSP is now accepting applications for the speaker of the 2017 Winter Commencement. The selected student will represent the class of 2017 Winter Commencement Ceremony on Saturday, September 16th in front of 4,500 guests. The speech should be no more than 3 minutes and should reflect the experience of being a pointer at UWC this point. Students must also supply 2 references that include the contact name, phone number, and email of the references. 3 finalists will be selected by the commencement student speaker committee and will give a speech in November. The selected speaker will be notified by November 22nd. Students can apply at the UWSP commencement page. The deadline for application will be on Tuesday, October 31st at 5 p.m. For more questions, contact commencement at uwsp.edu.
If you love lizards or other reptilian creatures, the Herpetology Society is perfect for you. Breanna Schmitt has more.
The Herpetology Society is a club for students who love reptiles and amphibians, or students who want to know more about them.
We want to try to spread more information about them because they're really misunderstood animals, and just keep teaching about them and having a fun time learning.
One of the organizations that the Herpetology Society runs is called Save the Frogs, which focuses on amphibian conservation.
We're working on trying to start up like a pond restoration project in Schmeeckle Reserves by the visitor center, so we can make a little space for more amphibians to hang out and hopefully some other species as well.
Students can also apply to work in the vivarium through the Herpetology Society.
Every semester, the managers send out applications for people to apply to be vivarium volunteers, and if you just start heading out to meetings like the beginning of the semester, you can ask them about it and stuff.
The Herpetology Society also participates in events, like the Schmeeckle Candlelight Hike and the live venom extraction that occurred a few weeks ago.
We had somebody come in from the M-Toxin Venom Lab in Wisconsin, and he brought in some live venomous animals and did some actual venom extractions and talked about how these animals live in the wild and stuff like that, and tried to dispel some myths about them, and it was a really, really cool event.
This is Breanna Schmitt with SPTV News.
If you want to know more about the Herpetology Society, contact Rachel Smith.
Do you like to volunteer? Do you like helping out with the community? Well, SPTV Sarah Sartell and Erica Jones took a deeper look at the new Special Olympics Club on campus.
There's a new club on UW Stevens Point campus, and we caught up with the president about what it's all about.
Basically, it's just a volunteering organization. We team up with the YMCA and help out with their Special Olympics club, or their Special Olympics teams. Bowling, track, swimming, young athletes.
They're still in development in events, but they do have a few you are able to be a part of coming up.
We have this Saturday, we have an event for the Halloween party, 6:30 to 9. And that's going to be just for a way for the participants to come dress up, have some sweets, and have a dance as well. We also are currently in our bowling season, so we are looking for people to help volunteer from 3:30 to 5 at Point Bowl on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that's just kind of just hanging out with the athletes and encouraging them, helping them with whatever's needed.
The goal of Special Olympics Club is to help provide opportunities to get involved and socialize in the community.
We're creating an inclusive environment for people with and without disabilities.
They encourage your help, and the club focuses more on the volunteering aspect. Therefore, it is very flexible to be a part of.
It's pretty flexible. It's whenever you can help. We have tons of volunteering opportunities.
This is Erica Jones and Sarah Sartell reporting for SPTV.
To get involved or to find out more information on upcoming events, check out the Special Olympics spin page.
This Friday, the Schmeeckle Reserves will be hosting its annual Candlelight Hike Festival. Wanzhen Lepak and Wanzhen Li have more.
The fall 2017 Candlelight Festival at Schmeeckle Reserves is open to the public and students in UWSP. I sat down and talked to Emma Pfeiffer about this event.
The Candlelight Hike Festival has several purposes, several aims. So the first aim is to be a community event. So we like to invite people who've maybe never been to Schmeeckle Reserve to come out for the first time, experience it in maybe a novel way.
The Schmeeckle Reserve Candlelight Festival is an activity for all age groups, as well as an opportunity for the practicum students.
We offer all kinds of activities and discovery stations, and then its second aim is to give our practicum students for environmental education and interpretation a chance to do a public program for a larger audience that's mixed.
And not only can practicum students get involved, regular students can also volunteer to help.
It gives our students a chance, from the university, a chance to volunteer at a large event and get the experience of just the camaraderie that happens when you put on a really big event.
While volunteering, students may help with a variety of different games and activities which aim to educate about wildlife and nature.
One of our main goals is to make animals and nature more inviting so that people will have a reason to care about it. If you don't care about something, then you're not going to care if it's protected or not. So one of our big aims in environmental education and interpretation is to inspire connections between people and a resource, in this case, Schmeeckle Reserve.
Well, the event is free for everyone. They do ask for a small donation.
It is a free event, totally free. We do ask for donations because it's not free to put on, but we don't charge anybody anything to come.
For SPTV, this has been Austin Lepak and Wanzhen Li reporting.
The event will be held from 6 to 9 p.m. this Friday. Visit the Schmeeckle Reserve Visitor Center for more information.
That is all the news we have for you this evening.
We'll be right back with sports after the break.
Serving a campus of 9,600 strong, we are the home of UWSP Television. We are SPTV. You can find us on Charter Channel 983, online, or on any of our social media sites.
Jirschele, the 7th largest book printer in North America, is hiring students for the semester. We are 100% employee-owned and located right here in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. All shifts currently hiring, with jobs starting at $10.80 an hour. Hours are flexible. For more information, contact the Jirschele HR department.
Welcome back, Pointers. In sports this week, the Pointers football team has lost 3 of their last 4 games after dropping a close game to UW Stone on Saturday, 23-17. All the Pointers' offense came in the first half, as they were held to just a field goal in the second half. Sophomore quarterback Matt Urbanski finished the day going 13 for 25 for 163 yards and 2 touchdowns, both of which were to Steve Hara. Hara, along with his touchdown receptions, caught 8 passes for 109 yards. Senior wide receiver Jerry Williams finished the day with 6 receptions for 104 yards. Shemaj Williams was the leading rusher for the Pointers, finishing with 14 carries for 51 yards. Senior defensive lineman was one of 4 Pointers on the defensive
and 6 tackles. The team has 2 home games in a row, starting this Saturday with a 1 p.m. kickoff against UW Whitewater. The Pointers women's volleyball team finished the weekend with a record of 2-1 after their tournament at UW Oshkosh. On Friday, the Pointers won both their matches. In the first match, the Pointers came back to beat Bates College in 5 sets after being down 2 sets to 1. In their second match, the Pointers beat 22nd-ranked University of Texas at Dallas in 4 sets. April Dell led the offense once again for the Pointers and recorded 2 more double-doubles. Combined for both matches on Friday, she has 45 kills, 32 digs, and 2 blocks. The lone loss for the Pointers came on Saturday when they lost to Carthage College in 3 sets. Dell led the way with 10 kills. Last night, the Pointers went on the road to UW River Falls and beat the Falcons in straight sets. Kelly Magliano led the Pointers with 13 kills. On Saturday, they traveled to UW Lacrosse to face the Eagles, who are currently in first place in the WIAC. With the Pointers winning last night, they're guaranteed to host a match in the first round of the WIAC tournament, which starts Tuesday. The Wisconsin Badgers moved to 7-0 and 4-0 in Big Ten Conference play for the first time since 2004 with a 38-13 win over Maryland Saturday at Madison. Freshman running back Jonathan Taylor continued his stellar season on a Saturday when he tied a college football record when he broke the 1,000 rushing yard mark in his 7th game this season. He finished the day with 22 carries for 126 yards and a touchdown. The Badgers head on the road this week to Champaign, Illinois, to take on the Fighting Illini of Illinois with kickoff scheduled for 11 a.m. The Green Bay Packers dropped to 4-3 on the season after a 26-17 loss at home on Sunday to the New Orleans Saints. In his first career start, Packers quarterback Brett Hundley was 12 of 25 for 87 yards and 1 interception. Rookie running back Aaron Jones had his best game to date, finishing with 17 carries for 131 yards and 1 touchdown. Blake Martinez led the Packers defense with 16 tackles. The Packers are on the bye this week and return to action Monday night at home against the Detroit Lions. In a World Series update, the Fall Classic is tied up at 1 game apiece. In Game 1, Justin Turner broke a 6-inning 1-1 tie with a 2-run homer that propelled the Dodgers to a 3-2 victory. In Game 2 last night, Astros starter Justin Verlander took a no-hitter into the 5th inning until Dodgers outfielder Jock Peterson hit a solo home run to tie the game at 1. Then 1 inning later, Corey Seager hit a 2-run homer to give the Dodgers a 3-1 lead. But then the Astros tied it up at 3 in the bottom of the 9th on a Marwin Gonzalez home run. Another lead change in the top of the 10th when the Astros got home runs from Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa to take a 5-3 lead. Then in the bottom of the 10th, the Dodgers tied the game at 4 with a Yasiel Puig home run and a 1-run single by Kiki Hernandez. Houston then got the lead back at the top of the 11th for good on a 2-run homer by George Springer and went on to win a score of 7-6. The series heads to Houston with games 3 through 5 being played at Minute Maid Park starting tomorrow night. That's all the sports stories we have for you tonight. Up next is entertainment news with Nathan Wegner. I'm Jirschele for SPTV Sports.
Tobacco use is the largest preventable cause of death
and disease in the United States.
Cigarette smoke kills more than
480,000 Americans
each year.
41,000 of these deaths
are from exposure
to secondhand smoke.
Smoking harms nearly
every organ in the body.
Every day,
more than
3,800 kids
under the age of 18
smoke their first cigarette. More than 16 million Americans
live with a smoking-related disease.
On average,
smokers die 10 years younger
than non-smokers.
Smoking causes
cancer,
heart disease,
strokes, lung diseases,
diabetes,
and chronic bronchitis.
How can you get involved with student media at UWSP? Connecting with your campus television station, SPTV, is easy. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Vine, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Pinterest. follow us on Instagram, or connect with us on Google+. But of course, the best way for you to get involved and stay up to date with all that is happening at our station is to stop by our studio. We're located in the Communication Arts Center at UWSP, Studio B, Room 121. You can also drop by our office, Room 130, for more information on station happenings. We can't wait to get you involved. Come join us at SPTV. Let's make media together.
Welcome back, Pointers. Schmeeckle Reserve visitors who have been inspired to take photos, create art, or write about the natural area are invited to submit their work for the 3rd annual Writing, Art, and Photo Contest. The Friends of Schmeeckle Reserve is hosting this contest to raise awareness of the reserve and the Friends of Schmeeckle group. The Friends of Schmeeckle Reserve form to provide community support for the reserve through educational programs, outreach, land management and acquisition, and fundraising. Contest submissions will be posted on the Friends of Schmeeckle Reserve website and displayed during December at the Portage County Public Library. First and second place winners in each category will be honored at a ceremony on December 1st at the Public Library. Submissions must be accompanied by a 75 to 100 word statement describing how the entry was inspired by time spent in Schmeeckle Reserve. All ages are welcome to participate. Entries are due on November 1st. The Sculpture Park's newest project, Out of the Woods, is nearing completion. A grant was written to bring back the original artists from the original project back in 2005. François Lalonde from France installed a deer-themed piece in the pond this past Wednesday, while Tim Curtis from Hollywood, Florida, worked on a hanging boat piece on North 2nd Street. UW Stevens Point professor Stuart Morris will be making his own contribution as well. Professor Morris stated that the mission is to combine community recreation and art together. A community celebration was hosted this past Saturday to mark the completion of the project. The park is open every day of the week and there is no admission fee. If you're a fan of Super Smash Bros. Or games in general, the upcoming Fighter Fright Smash Spectacular may be the event for you. I took a closer look at this event.
The Fighter Fright Smash Spooktacular, a Super Smash Bros. Tournament put on by the Video Game Enthusiast Club, will be happening this Friday, October 27th in the DUC Laird Room.
Super Smash Bros. Is a popular game played at video game enthusiasts, and the club wanted to capitalize on that by hosting an event centered around it.
Well, this event is a tournament to help raise money for the club. It's also to help people break out of their shells, because typically when people see events like this, they tend to go to them and then tend to go to the club to show up. It's a good way to actually get people to know the club because there's not a lot of advertisement for it, and when they go to a big event like this, they can meet people with common interests they have.
The club is hoping to draw in many with this event, offering singles and doubles events and a raffle. Each event will cost $5 to enter, and it will cost $3 to come without participating in the tournament. Costumes are encouraged.
We hope to be inclusive and just get a lot of people here having fun. That's the main thing, is we just want to have fun and have people enjoy themselves.
VGE hosted a similar event last year, and all the officers want to make sure this one is even better than before. For them, this was a lot of work.
A lot of hard work, a lot of money, and a lot of dedication from the VGE officers and the people at Video Game Enthusiast. Just a lot of people trying to get together and make a fun event for everyone to play at.
We had a lot of sponsors, a lot of generous people giving out to us. Also working with like RHA and the building services just to get the room is really nice, especially because if we have such a big venue, it makes it easier to store everything and have all the outlets and equipment.
For those who aren't able to make it this time, the club promises more events are to come in the future.
Hopefully. I can't say 100% with 100% certainty, but hopefully, yes.
If things go well, we plan on having one every semester.
Last year we actually had another tournament as well, and that had a pretty decent turnout, but hopefully this year we'll have an even bigger one.
Besides events like these, the club is always happy to have more members come join them, and would love to see some more new faces.
You can come to our weekly meetings in DUC 235 from 6:45 to 11, or you can talk to myself or one of the officers directly, or anyone in club for that matter.
If you want more information on this event or the club in general, Be sure to check out their Facebook and Spin page, as well as their Discord server.
I'm hoping to get a big turnout and hopefully that everyone has a good night. It's gonna be a long event, so if they go home happy, I'll be happy.
This is Nathan Wegner with SPTV News.
If you want more information, be sure to look on the Video Game Enthusiast Spin page. October is a month associated with horror films, trick-or-treating, and superstitions like Friday the 13th. Have you ever wondered where these superstitions came from? Caitlin Baldoff, a mental health therapist at North Central Healthcare in Wausau, said that the fear of Friday the 13th is ingrained in Western culture and enforced by pop culture. America has a negative association with Friday and a dislike for the number 13. People avoid each occurrence separately, but the combination of the two is relatively new. Baldoff said psychologically, many superstitions are attached to being either in control or out of control. Some superstitions, like avoiding stepping on cracks or a routine for good luck, are all about control, while other superstitions, like Friday the 13th, make people feel out of control. Our superstitions reveal the extent to which human beings are driven to perceive causes and effects and help us make sense of the world. Though many researchers like to point to religions like Christianity as the source of Friday the 13th, there is no true origin of this event. The Transcontinental Piano Duo will be hosting a concert titled Concert Favorites. The duo has held workshops, master classes, and performances nationwide, including at university settings, at professional conferences, and community concert series across the United States. Recent highlights include performances at the MTNA National Conference in New York City, the World Piano Pedagogy Conference, Arizona's Steinway Music Chamber Festival, and the 6th University Wisconsin-Iowa Tour. The duo's most recent recording, The Elegant Erard, music of Debussy, Faure, Bizet, and Ravel, was revealed on Centaur Records. The concert will take place on Friday, October 27th at 7:30 p.m. in Mickelson Hall. In addition, they will be teaching a piano masterclass to UWSP students from 3 to 4:30 p.m. in Mickelson Hall. The concert is free and open to the public. That's all we have for you this week for entertainment news. Now over to Austin Lepak with Pointer Politics. I'm Nathan Wegner with SPTV Entertainment News.
Welcome back, Pointers. Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker announced this past Wednesday that the DNR State Forestry headquarters will relocate to the Rhinelander Service Center. Chief State Forester will move to the DNR-owned facility in front of Highway 29 by January 1st, which is outlined in the 2017-2019 state budget. This move will put the Division of Forestry and its leadership in a better position to work with the primary forest industries in the state. The state's forest industry is growing and has already generated nearly 65,000 jobs. The DNR is looking forward to the opportunity of better serving the area where most of the state's timber industry is located. The state said that every job in the forestry supports 1.7 additional jobs in the state, and forestry is the #1 employer in 10 counties. With the growing debate over professional athletes protesting their games during the national anthem, the players and the supporters say critics who make it an argument over patriotism and the flag are missing, or rather ignoring, the point of their protests, to shed a light on racial disparities in our country. In a new report from the Annie E. Casey Foundation, which measures children's progress in key areas like education, health, and economic status, results reveal that Wisconsin is failing its children of color, particularly African Americans. The finding states that 64% of African American students in Wisconsin graduate high school on time, compared to 93% of white students and 72% of white students in Wisconsin live in families that are economically secure, compared to just 24% of African American children. If kids grow up in families that are economically stressed, it makes it harder for kids to concentrate at school. The organization Kids Forward, an organization committed to standing up for every child, every family, and every community, stated that there are two keys to begin narrowing down the racial gaps. Help children get off to a good start in school, and help their parents find jobs with family support and salaries. That is all we have for you this week in Winter Politics. I'm Austin Lepak with SPTV Politics. We'll be right back after the break.
Very welcoming place. Even if you don't know what support you need, just coming down, we can look at individual schedules and talk about all the different options that are available.
believe that the TLC can definitely help students even for the slightest little bit. The writing lab, especially because you're going to have to write papers for any of the classes, they're able to proofread those and give you feedback on those.
The writing lab has been around since 1973, and it's the second oldest writing lab in the United States, which is kind of cool.
I was surprised by everything that I learned about TLC because I didn't realize there were so many resources for students.
To see more students down here. I mean, it's great that we have 35% of the student population utilizing us, but that means that we have 65% that didn't utilize us, and I know we have support services that could benefit just about everybody.
It means to me that I'm able to add another link between the TLC and the students. I know that as a big organization, it's kind of hard to get word out to the students, especially because they're not going out and meeting with the students or being part of their classes or anything like that. So having that extra link probably helps them out a lot.
And when you come down, there's free coffee, tea, and hot cocoa, so make themselves at home and learn a little bit about how they can be supported.
That's all we have for you this week at SPTV.
Until next time, Stevens Point, have a great night.